Good morning, everyone. All right, so it's the next day from when we ended the last video, but here is the patio in the daytime, and they're here again to finish it up, as well as landscaping. So I just met with landscapers, and they're gonna start cleaning up the backyard, get it ready for the trees. Took a portion of the fence out, and here we go. Let's transform this yard. I think I'm gonna set the time-lapse camera right here out this window because it's gonna get a nice view of like the whole area that they're gonna be working in. And you'll kind of get some of like the patio people coming into the shot and the rest of the stuff in the back there. So if you missed the previous vlog about what's going on outside, and you're like, what is going on outside? This is phase 2 of the renovations. So in the previous series, I spoke about how the outside would be phase 2. Phase 2 has begun. Actually, phase 2 is like almost done. So there is a part 1 of phase 2 that has been posted, and I talked about what is gonna happen outside, as well as showing most of the patio being put in. And so now here we are for the next part. So he is getting ready to start the stairs. Hi, dogs. I know, you're so excited. Yeah, you're so excited. So the stair platform is gonna go out 3.5 feet. So it's not just gonna be like you walk out the door and step down. You're gonna actually walk out onto a platform and then step down onto a step and then onto the patio. I wanted to do that because once this door is open, I want it to feel as though the house is just extending outwards and you can just kind of step outside if you want to, as opposed to have to step onto the patio if you don't want to, if that makes sense. They moved the Bobcat right in front of the time lapse. I'm not gonna make them move it though, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. So the grasses that were over by the fence are now being moved by the rows of Sharons, and they look so good here, like so good. So they're going kind of in between them. This one's coming out, so then the third will go right here. That looks so good. This is gonna be sod. They're taking out the wild indigo now, and that's gonna go outside of the fence in between some of the trees. So I think in between those there kind of fill in some space. It's gonna look really good there. And then these larger boulders are gonna be sprinkled throughout what we're calling the forest once all the trees are in. The whole back is pretty much prepped, well, this side at least, for the trees. And then the indigo was moved here. This plant it's like very delicate, but also very hardy. This is a natural Illinois prairie plant. It's gonna probably wilt, but then next year will come back. It's a really cool flower. So it's like these stalks of purple flowers that almost look like sweet peas. I think that's what they're called, the flower of like sweet peas, but it's like a little stalk. And then this is the seed pod that they create. And once the pod dries, they fall and they reseed. It's sad this thing has to come down, but as you can see, it's already rotting at the base. It's also in the way of where a pine tree's gonna go. Patio is really coming along. Look at this border. The border along the house. And they're working on getting the steps laid out. It's really coming together. So the landscapers are gonna get a ton done today. We might see most of the trees in. That's where one of the big pine trees is gonna go. The other in the corner, and the other over there. So this is the process of the stairs and the stair platform. This is being built up, which is very exciting. I just love this. I love the border around it. Looks so clean. And also so glad that the border is not this, the black color that they were suggesting. This just blends in. It also pulls out tones of the house, the siding. The other pines and the birch just arrived. All of the trees have been planted, and my goodness, and the burning bushes. My goodness gracious, does it look good. Like it's peaceful, it's serene, it feels like you're in the woods, it feels like you're in a forest with fences in the background, you know, obviously, but it just feels, it looks better than I was expecting. I knew it was gonna look good, but didn't know it was gonna look this good. So I'm like beyond over the mountain excited and happy. Here it is. It's not mulched yet. They're coming back on Monday to mulch and finish up the yard, do some trimming, plant the sod. Patio people will be back to finish the patio on Monday. So everything will be done on Monday. It's crazy. But here is the new landscaping. Currently being watered. Jet is learning about her new yard. The boulders need to be placed in different areas. I didn't actually place them. The ones over there are really, really nice. But the ones on the left side need to be kind of scattered a little bit, grouped in some areas so it's not like boom, 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 like in between every tree there's a boulder. This thing is so fun because it moves. This tractor moves itself and it follows the hose path that you set for it. So I set a hose path all along the new trees, and then it stops right there. I don't know if you can see it. There's like a little plastic thing, and then it just shuts itself off when it reaches there. There was a little change. The burning bushes, so there's a burning bush, burning bush, burning bush, burning, 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 and burning bush. So 7 burning bushes. They were supposed to be small, like, you know, 1.5 feet tall, and the nursery sold them, which is great because I didn't realize I needed these 3.5 foot tall burning bushes, which just fills in the space more, makes it feel more cohesive, and makes it feel more finished and established too. That's what I was going for with like bigger trees. I wanted to feel established as opposed to just little tree saplings that are gonna grow and it's gonna take 10 years to get to this height. So this way it just looks and feels established. Then we have 3 birch trees, one here, one over here, and another on this side of the Norwegian pine. What'd you find? What'd you find, little girl? Huh? What'd you find under there? You're so beautiful. Yeah, you are. The Norway pines, especially when you take a needle and rub it in your fingers. Oh my gosh. The pine fragrance is out of this world. It's incredible, like absolutely incredible. Like I'm just gonna be out here all day, every day doing this, and soon all 3 of these Norwegian spruce are gonna be bare because I'm just smelling them. Not so much with the Black Hills pine. It still has a really nice fragrance, but not quite as strong as the Norwegian pine. I wonder if certain times of year the pine is more potent than other times. But it's got like little pine cones in here. Look at some cute little pine cones. So we've got pine cones growing. Oh, here, these fell off. Look, so cute. Can you guys tell I'm excited? Like, today was just one of the best days. It really was. Today was such a good day. I'm very happy. Here's the update on the patio. So they've started with the stair and platform. So this will be the step that you go down onto before you get onto the patio. And then there's another step that's level with the door there. And that is gonna be like a platform. So there will be like a 2-foot platform that you walk out on before you step down. I guess that's code. I would have actually preferred to just have steps on this side. But I guess you have to have like a platform to walk out on. So these steps are gonna have to be slightly modified because they were done incorrectly. It makes sense why they did it like this because it's symmetrical with the door. But the original plan was to have the platform extend to about here so that it's level with the light. And also the door opens out to the right. So when you're walking out, there's less of a tripping hazard. And it would also help to kind of center the space a little bit because the door is kind of off-centered, and by moving the platform over a little bit underneath the light, it's going to extend that space, everything feel more cohesive. At least that's the plan. That's the goal, at least. All right, so tomorrow's Sunday. They'll be back Monday, and I will fill you guys in on what happens then. It is Monday, and that means mulch time. Nice dark brown mulch, make it look like dirt. Didn't want a big contrast or anything, just look like earth. Earth, pine trees, and birch, and burning bushes, and rocks, and grasses, and roses of Sharon's. Everything is happening really, really fast. Like the landscapers will probably be done in like an hour, and it's like 8 o'clock. Like it's 8 a.m., which is crazy. So they're finishing the border on the patio and as well as the steps. Fix the steps over there, or in process of fixing the steps. Yeah, so, they're doing the border along the side of the pergola. They are starting to grade and move all the dirt into this little slope. Also the stairs coming together. Fun stuff to show you over by the grasses as well in the Rose of Sharon's. So nice. They put the sod in, trimmed the Rose of Sharon's. It looks so good. This is how they've locked the bricks in with this border of concrete. And they cover it with dirt and it sets. The dirt doesn't set the concrete, but the concrete just sets itself. Look at that. Now we went with like this gravel look for the first step platform. Just think it's like really cool. Just kidding. That's just the base layer. The actual pavers are going on top in this area, which is cool. And then look at this. They're feathering out the slope. And you really can't see it in the video. Maybe you can once, like, I don't know, it's actually in the video, but there's a nice dip, a little hill, which I'm thrilled about. I think it's so fun to have like a little sledding hill. It's really not a sledding hill, but it's fun. Look at that. Wow. The puppies have to go to the bathroom so bad, but they won't go in the front yard. Right, puppies? You have to go to the bathroom so bad. You can't go in the backyard until they leave. I'm sorry. I've given you 2 opportunities to go in the front yard. Actually, like right now, I am uploading the first part of this vlog. 30 more minutes until it's uploaded, and you guys have already seen it. They are about finished up. So what they're doing now is they have this, it's like paver sand or something, where it goes in between the cracks and just holds everything together. And then they use that machine there, which vibrates the pavers and gets that sand stuff deep down into the cracks. All right, they're officially done. The patio is done. Now I can't put anything on it for another day or two and I'm not really supposed to walk on it for another day or two. Now that was a magical moment. All right, let's go on a tour of the new outdoor paradise. My new favorite place to hang out. So I'm gonna go around and just tell you everything and what everything is and where everything was from. But yeah, let's talk about other stuff. If you didn't see my Instagram story during the Potter Collector sale, which is done now, it was the craziest Potter Collector sale ever. Air conditioner caught on fire, so thankfully it still works. So it still works, the issue was taken care of, so I didn't have to replace the whole thing. Literally flames were coming out of the top. So I had to shut off the power, get the hose, spray it down, put the fire out. Tim grabbed a fire extinguisher. It was nuts. We have air conditioning again, which is good. And I don't have to replace this yet, knock on wood. All right, so starting with the furniture, all of the main furniture, the table, the chairs, the loungers, the couch and the 2 chairs, and then the big table under the pergola is all from Restoration Hardware. I love the oversizedness of the couch. The end tables are not from Restoration Hardware. Those Tim had, and they're just really cool. They look kind of artistic and like someone made them, and maybe someone did make them. But we had those on the deck before, so you may have seen them before. The umbrella, which is gigantic, was from Amazon. So there are a total of 10 of these chairs. All of this furniture is from the same collection, so it all matches. But there are 10 of these chairs. So when there's a large gathering or something, we can move those chairs over to the big table and sit 10 people here at the big table. And this table is 10 feet long. The fountain is from a local greenhouse. We actually stopped there to just look at some pots, and then we're like, oh, they've got fountains. And we had been looking for a fountain for this space, and this was like literally the perfect fountain. And oh, I just realized it's not centered, which is okay because I've got lights coming, that I have to install, so I have to empty it anyway, and then I can shift it over a little bit. But anyway, so the fountain was perfect, and we were looking at all of them, and Tim's like, I know which one's my favorite, and I was like, I know which one's my favorite, and it was this one. So I think it fits this space really, really well. It's a good use of this space, which can't really be used for anything else. We could have put like chairs or whatever here, but I liked it being open, but now I like it even more with this water feature. And since the stream is gone, if you didn't watch the previous vlog showing this renovation, you wouldn't have seen that there used to be a 70-foot stream, the waterfall over there, and then it went all the way along the yard. A water feature was kind of necessary. So this was a perfect find. And yeah, the lights should be coming today, so I'll show you guys how I installed them and all that. So for the cord, I got one of these cord strips, anti-trip cord strips, and I'm actually gonna bury the extension cord. I have a waterproof connector. This I'm gonna paint to match the bricks that it's going over, just to hide it a little bit more. This by itself really isn't terrible, but I'd like it to be hidden a little bit more. I love everything about this thing. These little brass spillways. So fun. So the pots, I've got 2 identical pots, and I found both of them at Home Goods. I thought this was just such a cool pot. So we've got this one and this one over here. And then realized I really need 3. So I went to 13 Home Goods stores in the area. Yes, 13 Home Goods stores. It took me all day. And on the 12th one, I found this pot, which was the closest to the other 2. None of the stores had that pot in stock. So I picked this one up. It was on clearance, so it was like 30 bucks, which is great. It's stone. And it was gray, so I had to paint it. But I think it works in this space because it's kind of separate from the other 2. But the other thing I like about this pot not matching the others is it makes all of the pots feel a little bit more special as opposed to like matchy-matchy. So it feels more like a high-end resort because they don't match. I got all the palms from IKEA, and then the ferns were on clearance from Home Depot. So I did that for all 3 of the pots. And then since I couldn't find any more of those pots or even those pots, Tim got those from Amazon, so they matched pretty well. And then got these palms from Home Depot. And then Tim got this lavender from the local French market, which is doing so well. Like, they were like this big, and now they're Gigantosaurus. All of the pots have uplighting, and it's solar lighting. These are so good. Like, I forget what these are called, but these are probably the best solar lights I've used, and I've used a few different brands. They last for most of the night, which is amazing. So once all the trees and plants and bushes were installed, I went out and installed low voltage landscape lighting. The birch are all uplit. Most of the trees are uplit. Like the pine trees are side lit to kind of create this just glow on the pine trees, so the branches catch the light, and it's really beautiful. I'll show you a night shot of how everything's lit up, but it looks so beautiful at night. So beautiful. I actually like it at night more than I do during the day. So all of the trees are lit. All of these big boulders that you're seeing are from the stream, either the waterfall or kind of just decorative rocks that you would find along the stream. I love that this one has moss growing on it, so I keep watering the moss to keep it going. But tons of really beautiful rocks and boulders. This tree always looked so out of place, especially next to this big pine tree. Now it just feels like part of everything. Everything is cohesive. Everything kind of flows. You know, I always talk about flow, how I love flow. And everything flows now, which is very exciting. So sod, I seeded this area, so there are a few sprouts coming up, and more will be coming up in the next few days. But this whole area was sodded, and it eventually will blend in with the rest of the grass. I'm so glad that we went with having bricks along this patio, because it really does just tie in everything. Everything is just tied in now and cohesive. Everything, again, flows. So the patio now flows into the concrete patio, really because of this, and just the whole shape of everything. Everything's squared off. So it just all fits and flows now. Everything's cohesive. I could not be happier. So in addition to the low voltage lights on the trees, I put these really cool low voltage well lights in. So there's one on each of the poles. and then on this one here in the corner, so it lights the poles up on the pergola and lights the pergola up a little bit. But I also extended them along the entire edge of the patio. I think every like 80 inches or so, 82 inches, except for these here, which had to be a little closer together. And then this one there, this one here, I've got to get this grass to come back, and then this one here. So it's cool, like when the whole outside is lit up, it's just, there's like, you see the edge of the patio, it kind of highlights the living space from the natural yard space. These well lights add a little bit of light around the patio, and then of course the solar lights in all of the pots. It's a magical wonderland at night. So that's that. That is the new patio. I'm super proud of it. I'm super proud of just the design, how everything turned out. The furniture looks so good on this patio. The dogs love the patio, right, Chet? They are not allowed on the white furniture, so they're a little kerfuffled about that, but no dirty paws on the white furniture. So Tim actually ordered them this like dog cot, which they like. I removed it for the showing of the patio. I also lit those side trees on the other side of the fence. So you're just surrounded by light at night. So all around, all of the trees are lit up and the patio's lit up. So the last piece of the puzzle for this is a fire pit. And that has been causing issues because it has to be a propane fire pit that holds the propane can in the fire pit. So they make fire pits with like a separate box, which is like, you can be used as like a table or whatever, but you have to have a propane cord going from the pit to the table. We've been looking for a fire pit that can hold the propane can inside of the pit itself. And they're either too big or too expensive. And too big because it's like it's got to hold a propane can underneath it, so it has to be larger. Tim had actually found one and ordered one from Costco, and it was like perfect. It looked so cool. And then when it arrived, it was gigantosaurus, made all of the furniture look small. It just like, you looked outside and all you saw was the fire pit. So had to return that one. Something like thin, low profile, rectangle, or square or even round would be ideal, but nothing exists that isn't, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 or is like too tall. So a lot of them are like 24 inches tall. The shortest I've seen was like 19 inches, which would be okay. But again, now we're in like the $2,000 to $3,000 range. So looking for fire pits, maybe at the end of the season, there'll be like sales or something. So that's the last piece of the puzzle. So the patio's actually been done for like 2 weeks. And I haven't been able to enjoy it because of the Potter Collector sale. That's finally done. And now this week we've got thunderstorms. Like there's a thunderstorm on its way. And you can feel it in the air, which is great. I love thunderstorms. The air is primed for a thunderstorm, which is good because we also need rain. We got some rain a couple days ago, and that was the first rain that we had received for a month or more, for at least a month. So the grass and the trees appreciated it. My water bill appreciated it because I've been having to water the trees every single day for the past 2 weeks. Like not just like little spritz, like put the hose in the tree and like let it soak up all the water. So yeah, we definitely need rain. So I would appreciate a week of rain and thunderstorms. And oh, UPS is here. This is probably my lights. I'll let him drop off the package first. Yeah, so this is probably my pond lights, or not pond lights, the fountain lights. Does anyone else like hide when like people come to their door? Like I like literally hide. It's from Volt Lighting. What I liked about these ones is they had a bronze finish. So, oh, they're the perfect size. I was hoping they wouldn't be too big. They are the perfect size. Oh, this is perfect. These are heavy too, nice. And what's nice is these are tied right into the low voltage landscape lighting. So once that turns on at night, the fountain turns on at night. Once it turns off in the morning, it turns off in the morning. So I don't have to set up an additional timer or anything. My nails are so dirty from planting those planters. So the one thing about these lights that I was reading on the reviews is like after a year, water tends to seep into the crevices. So I added some silicone to the back as well as around the glass ring, just to give it some extra protection. But these are almost ready to go. This is about set. I wish that there were 4, just so I could have 1 under each of the spillways, but the goal is for them to just light up that bottom bowl so that light just lights up the whole area, as opposed to spotlights. So we'll see how it looks. Do them in thirds somehow, and I don't know, I'll figure that out. All right, before I actually empty the fountain and everything, I'm gonna test the lights to make sure that they work. What's nice is the sod hasn't rooted just yet, so this is like a crucial time to get all the landscape lighting, the fountain stuff, in and done before the roots sink in, because once the roots sink in, they're gonna hold everything together, and it's gonna be, I can't just lift sod like I am right now. So here's how these lights were installed. I have these low voltage connectors, and then the wire connectors. And then what I did was I just siliconed around the base of it just to hold it all in place, because again, once the roots kind of establish, if something were to happen, if one of these wires were to pull out, then it's really hard to access. So I don't wanna have to dig any holes in the grass once this is established. I'm also missing one of these connectors, so I've got to go get another one, but I've got electrical tape just for this test. All right, so once I plug this in, these lights should turn on. 1, 2, 3, Lumos. Bam, they work. Now that they work, we can empty the fountain and install the lights. Unplugged. All right, so now that we're emptying, it's got like 2 plugs, one plug there, and then this plug for the cord. So I'm gonna run the landscape lighting through here and then up through here, and then add a little bead of silicone. Oh no, the fountain, it's leaking. So these are the components of the fountain. That's the top bowl, obviously. This sits in that bowl, and then this sits on top. And this is this goes inside of this bowl. And then that sits on top of this. And then this is like a little door, little pump access door or light access door. All right, so what I have to do now is fish the wire through the hole and then see how much wire I need before I have to cut it. I also have to center the bowl. All right, that's all siliconed. I need to wash my hands, but now we have to let that sit before we can like fill up the fountain, unfortunately. But I'm gonna get everything else kind of situated, the lights placed and ready to go. So once the silicone is set, bam, water's filled up, bam, fountain's going, bam, no leakage. So since I only have 3 of these lights and they're just already like permanently attached to each other, I'm gonna do it in 3s. So since we see this side the most from the patio, this side and this side will be lit, and then the back will be lit as well. So we'll see how that looks. So I'm gonna wait to put the pump back into the pump area so that can set, and so I don't wanna break the silicone. And yeah, so actually, since it might rain soon, I'm gonna cover this up. We're gonna have to go to the hardware store to get another one of those connectors, but let's test the lights again. So here's the box all hidden here. And we have no lights. Oh, because it's not plugged in. Ta-da! Success. So this is the little box that I'm gonna bury the pump cable in and then connect it to the extension cord. So the cords just go like that, the connection goes in like that, and then it's sealed shut here. When you don't have a shovel, you use a plastic spoon. And then the spoon will break, because who wants to use your perfectly manicured dirt hands? So the spoon will break, and then you'll end up having to use those freshly dirt manicured fingers. Hopefully the sod grows on top of that, and then we can put the rest of the cord underneath the sod. And bam, so everything's hidden, which is good. What's kind of funny is when you lift up sod, it's like all the bugs that are under there like scurry away, like, oh my goodness, run away! Like they're like, ah, run! It's very frustrating that I have to go to the hardware store just for one of those little doodads. I just looked at the radar for the weather. It's literally like, on the radar, it's literally like that far. The tip of the storm is that far away from where I am. So it's not gonna rain and it's not gonna storm. Success. So I ended up getting these waterproof ones, but I'm still gonna put silicone around the base there. This is filled with like a waterproof compound, but it doesn't like harden like silicone, which is weird, but what I'm gonna do about that. All right, that is done. The silicone is setting before I put the sod back over the top of it. But now, this has set, so we can put the pump back inside. These lights are perfect for this fountain. So that'll be the light placement. And then on this side, the light is just centered under this one. So I think that'll be a good, the only problem is like from this view from the house, they're not balanced. So I don't know, maybe there's a different way to do it. Once the water is in there, I can find out a better balance of light, and it may just all disperse once there's water inside. So that's really what we have to wait for, I guess, before we make a decision. But these are kind of adjustable, tilt them up or, you know, whatever. So very, very happy with these. So I came into the sunroom to look, and it's like there is gonna be a little bit of a dark spot there. Again, once the water's in there, it might disperse more, but it's not terrible. I think it's more important for the lights to be symmetrical viewing from this direction, which is what we have them set for. I'm still letting the fountain silicone cure a little bit before I fill it up, but I am going to end this vlog, which is number 9 of the Reno vlogs. It's crazy, it's been 9 vlogs. And the final vlog in this series will be number 10. That's gonna be the big reveal of the inside. I know I haven't shown you guys yet, but it is coming, I promise. And I'm sure you're thinking, Peter, we didn't see it with the lights on. Don't worry, I will leave you with shots of the patio and the yard lit up, and you'll also see the fountain running and lit up. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I really enjoyed making it. I'll continue doing Peter Outside of Potter vlogs. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions about Harry Potter or collecting, feel free to leave a comment down below. You can also join the Potter Collector community on Instagram at The Potter Collector, on Twitter at Potter Collector, or on Discord. The official Potter Collector Discord server is listed down below. Now it's time to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, keep collecting. So I just filmed the night shots, and I just wanted to say real quick before you see them that the lights are about 50% less bright than the camera is making them look as though they are. So if you look at the shots and you're like, wow, those trees are lit way too bright, because I would look at those shots and be like, wow, those trees are lit way too bright. They're like 50% dimmer in real life. And that's the same with the fountain. Like the fountain looks just like way too hot in the shots. So I just wanted to give that little preface because I am very proud about how I lit this yard, and the video doesn't do it justice, but you'll be able to get an idea of what it looks like.
Thank you so much for watching, and if you're new here, welcome. We cover all things Harry Potter on the Potter Collector channel, like books, merchandise reviews, unboxings, Wizarding World of Harry Potter videos, and more. If you would like to subscribe, you can click right here. You can also check out a previously posted video right around here. If you have any questions about Harry Potter, feel free to leave a comment down below. I am happy to help. But for now, I must go. We'll see you next time.
Whoa, where'd he go?